The story begins. Elias Granger had never believed in the supernatural. Not ghosts, not demons, not anything beyond the rules of nature. He was a rational man, strict, logical, grounded. But the night of November 12th changed him. The journal begins with a single sentence, trembling and frantic. Something has been looking at me through the window, and it knows my name. Elias lived alone in a small cottage at the edge of Ashmore Forest. His days were predictable, almost painfully ordinary. Wake up, teach his classes, grade assignments, sleep, repeat. But 3 weeks before his disappearance, something interrupted that routine. A knock on his door. 3 knocks. Soft, slow, wrong. When Elias opened it, no one was there. Only a folded piece of paper lay on the ground. On it were 3 words. I see you. He thought it was a prank, a student's joke, until he found the same message the next day. Inside his mailbox, inside his car, inside the break room at school. Always the same handwriting, always the same message. I see you. The more he tried to ignore it, the more it escalated. And then the window incident happened. The window. Elias wrote that it was almost 2 a.m. He had been grading essays when he felt something. Not a sound, not a movement, just a pressure, a presence. He turned toward the window. There was a face pressed against the glass. Not human, not animal. Something in between, too tall, too thin, too pale. Its mouth was stretched far too wide, like someone had carved a smile into wet clay. And its eyes. The journal describes them as eyes that didn't reflect light. They absorbed it. The creature didn't knock, didn't speak, didn't move. It simply stared at him. And then it whispered. Not through the window, not through the air, but inside his mind. 2 words. Hello, Elias. That was the moment he realized something terrifying. It knew his name. And somehow it had been watching him long before he ever noticed it. The following days, Elias barely slept. He nailed the windows shut. He taped over the glass. He kept the lights on. He stopped going to work. Still, the thing continued speaking to him. At first, it whispered simple phrases. Why do you hide? I like watching you. Let me in. Then the voice changed. It became mocking, cruel, hungering. I know your secrets. I know what you've done. Do you think you are innocent? Elias tried to pray. He wrote that he hadn't prayed in years, not since childhood. But whatever was speaking to him laughed. God can't hear you. The more he ignored it, the more aggressive it became. Furniture moved on its own. Lights flickered violently. Doors slammed at night. The ceiling creaked beneath invisible footsteps. And always the feeling that he was being watched.
The thing in the hallway. On November 20th, Elias wrote, "It's inside the house now." He had woken up to the sound of breathing, slow, wet, animal-like. Not from outside the window, but from the hallway. He wrote that he could see its silhouette under the door. Long fingers, bent posture, and those eyes, those impossible eyes. It whispered again, "Let's talk, Elias." He didn't move, didn't breathe. Then the voice grew angrier. "You can't hide from me." The doorknob twisted, just slightly, just enough. It didn't enter the room that night, but it didn't leave either. It stayed, watching, waiting. The final entry. Elias's last journal entry was written shakingly, words barely legible. "It wants my shame. It wants my guilt. It wants the part of me I've hidden since childhood. It feeds on it." Then he wrote something else, something deeply disturbing. It told me what I did to Mark. Mark was Elias's childhood friend, the boy who drowned in the river when they were 8. Everyone believed it was an accident, but the journal says something different. I pushed him. I pushed him because I was jealous, and I never told anyone. The creature whispered one final message to him. I eat what you hide. The last line in the journal reads, "It's here, inside the room. I am not alone. The window is open. God forgive me." After that, nothing. Elias Granger vanished that night. No signs of struggle, no footprints, no forced entry. Only the journal lying open on the floor, next to the window that should have been nailed shut, and written on the window pane in something dark and dry, "Until we meet again."